What's up? Reading Mind Power. It's backwards, but it's Mind Power by William Walker Atkinson. I'm reading the part. This is called Mind Power, and this is the chapter called Animal Life. The Magic in Animal Life, page 44. But I'm reading page. I can't do that. I've spoken of the manifestation of mind power among the atoms and particles of matter, whereby the tiny corpuscles, corpuscles, become aware of each other's proximity, and whereby they move voluntarily in response to the desire aroused by the attraction of the by the attraction or affinity of the other atoms, and whereby they also exert a pull or drawing power on the other atoms and respond to the same attracting force of the particle. Ascending the scales, we find the crystals building up their forms by drawing materials from the fluids in which they are immersed. And there, no, okay, it's spelled T-H-E-R, no E. And they're building upon a set pattern and style as truly as does the builder among animals or among men. Passing on to the low forms of animal life, we find tiny life forms in the slime of the ocean bed, which are apparently no more than tiny drops of glue cells without a nucleus. Glue cells, that means that they're just cells able to have shit stick to them, or they have some type of a drawing out, a type of drawing in situation. But we'll keep reading. Passing on to the forms of animal life, we find tiny life forms in the slime of the ocean bed, which are apparently no more than tiny drops of glue cells without a nucleus, which nevertheless perform the function of all organic forms being born, taking nutrition, assimilation, of the approach of the other creatures and of their food. In some way, they become aware of these things. How, man does not know. Moreover, they are possessed of power of motion and exert their will in the direction of moving from place to place. Some of these forms of life, when viewed under even a strong microscope, are seen to move. But, okay. But the point that most concerns us is that although these creatures have no sense or even rudimentary sense organs, they are aware of the approach of other creatures and of their food. In some way, in other way, they become aware of these things. How, man does not know. Moreover, they are possessed of the power of motion and exert their will in the direction of moving from place to place. Some of these forms of life, when viewed under even a strong microscope, are even seen to move by gliding from place to place, apparently at will, and with no perceptible employment of organs of motion such as false feet, fins, etc. They seem simply to move by pure will. How do they do this? How do they become aware of the approach of other creatures without sense organs, or the rudiments of the same? It seems that mentation and telementation are manifested here. Rising higher in the scale, we find many insects seemingly endowed with the faculty of becoming aware of the presence of at distances so great as to render the ordinary senses of no avail. Students of ant life relate many remarkable instances of this kind. Ants at a distance seem to be able to communicate with their fellows, summoning assistance and directing the movements of ant army, an instance of telementation on the part of a colony of ants. He stated that he had placed a breeding cage of ants inside of a stone house, the latter having walls 16 inches thick, with no windows and but one door, the latter being so sealed and protected that trying to get through the stone blocks, trying to get through the stone blocks, first placing it beside one wall and then another and so on, trying all positions and places. When he would emerge from the house, he would find that outside ants grouped on the stone wall as near to the inside ants as possible, changing their position from side to side according to the position of the ant cage inside the house. Many other instances of the possession of the power of telementation on the part of the ants have been noted. Now, I want to find this one where there is a this is this book tells you how strong your mind is and how you being way more intelligent and more aware of yourself as more aware of yourself than an animal, than an ant, can also use your own brain to draw anything that would make you happy, anything that'll make you sad as well. But like I always said, anything that makes you sad is just something that is not transmuted in your brain. Your brain has told you that this thing is fucked up. But if you use the power of your own brain, you can make that bad thing a good thing, because nothing happens bad. Only thing bad is just a degree. Is a degree. Because if that same thing happened to you, when you look back on it, after you've come through whatever situation it is, it'll not be as bad as it. And then if you go tell another motherfucker, they'll never see the distraught in the shit that you do. They be like, nigga, you good. You can get through that no matter what the fuck it is. I don't understand. Everybody else can see your shit as being so simple, but their shit, if that shit same happened to them, then it'll be bad for, you know what I'm saying? They'll be like, oh my God, this is happening to me. But just like when you tell somebody your problem is fucked up, they'll look at your problem. So why don't you just use your own brain and sit back and act like you're another motherfucker talking to you and say this shit is not that bad? Because if a fucking animal, an insect, can attract something that they want without the use of, without cognition that you have, then what the fuck? You don't have a reason to be distraught about any situation. Everything is done in your favor, no matter what it is. But okay, here we go. I recently read an account of a naturalist who related that one day in a tropical country, he noticed a winged insect circling around and around a scorpion. After a bit, the insect made a series of desperate plunges at the scorpion, as if in a frantic desire to terminate the charm. The scorpion soon striking down the insect and afterwards devouring it. It is related by travelers that when one comes suddenly in the presence of a lion, tiger, or leopard, his legs seem paralyzed and the eyes of the beast seem to exert a peculiar fascination and power over him. I have seen a mouse manifest the same emotion in the presence of a cat. And the same is true of a rat in the presence of a ferret or similar enemy. On the other hand, every observer has noticed that the wonderful, charming power that animals exert over others of their kind, of the opposite sex. If you have ever witnessed the courting of a bird during the mating season, you will have a keen sense of the reality of the power employed. One of the birds, and it may be either a male or female, will be seen to actually fascinate or charm the one of the opposite sex. The lying still, no, the latter lying still with quivering wings and a helpless expression in its eyes. When compared with the attitude of the same bird when charmed by a serpent, the resemblance will be striking. I have before me this is in the book because I don't have this book before. I have before me a book written in 1847 which relates quite a number of instances of the operation of mental fascination among the lower animals. I will give you a few of them, condensed and abbreviated. Professor Silliman, Sillman, is quoted as stating that one day while crossing at the Hudson River at Catskill, he passed along a narrow road. This is it. A narrow road with the river on one side and a steep bank covered by bushes on the other side. His attention was attracted by the sight of a number of birds of a variety of species who were flying forward and backward across the road, turning and wheeling in strange gyrations and with noisy chirpings, seemingly centering over a particular point of the road. Upon examination, the professor found an enormous black snake, partly coiled and partly erect, showing an appearance of a great animation. With his eyes flashing like a brilliant diamond and his tongue darting in and out, this snake was the center of the motion of the birds. The professor adds that although the snake disappeared in the bushes, frightened at the approach of the men, still the birds seemed too dazed to escape and perched on the nearby bushes, evidently awaiting the reappearance of their charmer. The same book related an incident of a man in Pennsylvania who saw a large black snake charming a bird. The bird described gradually decreasing circles around the snake, and the snake, no, at the same time uttering piteous cries. It was helpless. It couldn't fucking. That was his demise. He was going to get eaten. He was going to get eaten. And the snake just charmed the fuck out of him. Or her, whatever the sex was. Charmed him. And it just fell. It would have fallen, but this motherfucking professor, he interrupted it and stopped it by approaching and scared the snake off. So the birds flew up, still waiting on him. So the shit that you want, all this shit that you want, all these things that you're trying to manifest, all these things that you're trying to make happen, they're going to happen. They may already be happening and you might not see it. Like me, I don't know how to manifest large amounts of money. So I thought I couldn't. I will be getting a large amount of money, like for the sale of my home. I've never had that in my life. This is going to be the most money I've ever had in my life. And a couple of weeks ago, I've told y'all the most amount of money I had in my life. This is going to greatly, you know what I'm saying? That shit going to be done. It's going to be way more than that. And I did that with the power of my mind. I told myself I'm rich. I'm abundance. I didn't, but see, my abundance comes in situations like my job is fucking butters. I have an abundance of people up there that will send motherfuckers away that are there to fucking make my life bad up there, as I've told y'all in the past. This is the best job I've ever had. I make the most money at this job. It is the best job I've ever had. It is, I don't have to change my life at all. I attracted that. This is all me. This is my fault. This is my joy. This is me. I have a wonderful wife, a wonderful family. Everything is going according to fucking plan, bro. And all I'm doing is trying to find my light inside of me. I'm not out here grinding. I'm not hustling. I'm not running around here stretching myself thin. I am going at night. I meditate when I can. My wife has taken my headphones, so I meditate out loud. Now I just I'm just meditating in the world. I'm still doing my Kundalini rises. This is where you imagine the base of your spine. You imagine the base of your spine, there is a heat. You imagine a circling, swirling heat, a swirling light, because it's light. You can make the light whatever color you want. If you use your imagination is the fucking key. Imagination is the key. Imagination is the key. Imagination is the key. Your inside, what the fuck word did I say? Alchemy. Internal alchemy. Alchemy of the mind. Mental alchemy. Mental alchemy. Changing your mind into gold. Changing your mind into telling yourself that every fucking thing is your fault. Everything is your fault. Everything is because of you. You make everything happen for you. You attract everything. You are that snake curled at the base on the ground with your mouth open, darting your tongue in and out, tasting your situation, tasting how you live, because that's what the fucking snake does when he sticks his tongue out. He tastes his world. He tastes how safe it is. He tastes to see if his food is around, see if his mate is around, to see what the fuck can I do? Am I gonna coil and go over here and hide out? Am I gonna dig me a hole, get in the ground and get away from some motherfuckers? Or is my food gonna be there and I gotta curl up and I gotta mesmerize this fucking food and make it come to me? I'm not working. I'm keeping my mind on one thing, and that is my life. I'm controlled. I'm controlled by the light, by the shit that gets into my mind. Anything can fucking be said out here. I change it in my brain. Before it hits my brain and starts trying to make any type of a change, I transmute that. I can watch all TV. I can watch anything. I can do any fucking thing because my mind has been made up that it's my fault, that I'm God. I don't have to go out and ask anybody. I'm not about to sit up here and pray to another motherfucker. If I pray, I'm not gonna fucking pray. I'm not begging nobody. I'm telling motherfuckers, I'm telling the when I want some shit, I go talk to my real ancestors, to the motherfuckers that was here just few fucking years ago that I know was here about money. Miss Barbara fucking Elam, my mother-in-law, is about money. She's about making money happen for you. She's about making money work for you. All she did was have money. If she was on this existence, it would be just finances just like they are right now, but it would just be available. Like, all I have to do is my wife, that's her mom. That's the way that she lives. She doesn't know this struggle. She doesn't know struggle at all. Struggle is something that she doesn't. I don't even fucking understand that. I brought struggle into her life. The most struggling we did was when we were Christians. When we were asking God, when we were putting power outside, we was taking power outside of ourselves and giving it away. Now it's my fault. Now I thank me. Now every time something good, bad, or indifferent happens, and then I say indifferent, when I have to transmute a fucking situation that's seemingly fucked up into a good situation, into a learning situation. You don't fuck up anything. if you're out here doing a thing, it's gonna come around. Everything is gonna be well. And I don't want to tell you to be whatever the fuck you don't want to be, but anything that's taking power away from you, anything that tells you that you have to bow down or you have to acquiesce to this power, like everything is in your power. Everything is in your power. You can change anything. Dorothy, you had the power to go home all the time. You had the power to go home every time, all the time. All you had to do was think home and you home. You're not stuck nowhere. You stuck in this fucking human body. You stuck in Tartarus. It was when your soul was incarnated in this body. Because there's a much better place for all melanated people. Europeans, Caucasians, Caucasoids, Tamil have a long way to go because of the way you incarnated into this reality with the mind power and the hands of the Yakub pantheon. And these are in books. If you want to find a book, it is you can read Dirt. You can read The Making of the White Man by Paul Laurence Guthrie, I think. If you want to learn about all of the bullshit they tell you about the myths of the world that are attached to religions, there are all the myths in here. Everything that they tell you that is true is in there. This is a book I read that lets me know the cosmic books. Cosmic Journey. And here you go. The Making of the White Man by Paul Laurence Guthrie. Bibliography all through the book. Truths all through the book. So any Caucasian, any European, anybody that's not melanated, I'm not racist, I'm just telling you the truth. That's all I gotta do. That's all I can do. But I have more, but I'm at work. I'm about to pull back in here, go to work. And you can't, it's a dispensary. Got weed in it. Don't want niggas seeing that shit. So, this is your boy Robert Wright L. Signing out. If you like what I'm teaching, holler at me, like and subscribe. Stay dangerous. Peace.